Mr. Hilliard. Like salad, let us begin. My first science teacher was Heidi, Monique, and Miss Bullock. Yet it was in 7th grade physics class with Miss Jacquet, where when we lifted her tiny car with a lever, I was hooked on seeing science right in front of my eyes. I was hooked on learning by doing. Learn by doing is central to science at Waldorf. In the next few minutes, I'm going to highlight how the Learn by Doing model lives in the sciences at Waldorf. We were exposed to Learn by Doing at Waldorf without skipping a beat in freshman year chemistry with Miss Honig. Every freshman anticipates it, and all of the rest of the students reminisce about it. We made beer. Don't worry, the first few days leading up to the experiment, we talked about how alcohol has harms and what it can do to the body. But yes, we made beer at 13. The school moved online that chemistry block, and Miss Honig had to take all her beer to her house. So if you still haven't picked up your beer, you can go to her house, but please have your parents pick it up for you, because that's the only way you can get the beer that you made at 13. I was not in honors bio, but I definitely heard some strange stories about dissecting pigs, sharks, and pigeons. Learn by doing in action. And then there's physics, where for me, the approach to learn by doing was the strongest. Dr. Carini showed us everything. So many times physics students are given a textbook with the formulas. They apply the formula to the problem. That's not the case in Waldorf physics. You are shown an experiment and you have to derive the formula. Only then can you apply it to other problems. Each formula builds upon the last one. In 12th grade honors modern physics, the only formula that we were ever given was actually one we derived in 10th grade mechanics. I could talk about Waldorf physics all day, but I should probably move on to earth science. In Mr. Kerb's environmental science, we tested cars to see who drove the car with the worst carbon emissions. We went to the parking lot and had everyone who drove to school that day start up their car. It turned out the senior with the coolest car had the worst emissions. But I think we determined that was okay. During senior year zoology, Mr. Hilliard brought in live snails to class, which he had collected the evening before. He put them on plates to eat lettuce, but quickly they became bored. We tried to pay attention to the lecture, at the same time making sure that our snail didn't wander down the desk leg. We were all in fear of losing our snail to an accidental crush by foot. We spent days studying and drawing live snails. And then the crab arrived. Mr. Hilliard was teaching us about crustaceans, so of course he went to the seafood market and bought a massive dead crab. The first day we were a bit bothered by the smell, but we pushed through and drew that crab. But then the crab just never left. It often resided in a freezer, releasing a horrifying stench. But on occasion, Mr. Hilliard would just hold the crab in one hand like a puppet, draw on the board on the other, while he gave an hour-long lecture, never putting down the crab. But even once the crab was long gone, the ghost of it still remained. Because every time someone inevitably forgot and started to reach towards the freezer, there was a chorus of "Stop!" Because everyone knew that once that handle was pulled, there would be a stench of crab for at least 10 minutes. This never stopped Mr. Hilliard. He proceeded to do it all over again for the next main lesson block. Waldorf science education has given us laughter, unforgettable experiences, and a deep appreciation for the weird and wonderful. Science that happens right before our eyes. Thank you, and let the learning adventure continue. I would like to now introduce Grace Lipson.